People often claim that the typical millionaire diversifies their income into about 7 distinct sources. In contrast, most individuals rely solely on their job salary, making them susceptible to financial instability. By analyzing millionaire behaviors, we can see a pattern of multiple income streams. However, not all income is created equal, varying in terms of activity level, tax passivity, and leverage potential. Today, we will explore the 7 main ways most millionaires make money. Before we begin, please like the video and consider subscribing to our channel for more fantastic content like this. Let's dive in. The first and most common source of income is salary. This includes money received from jobs, ranging from regular workers to high executives like CEOs. Many CEOs remain employees of their respective companies, and professionals like doctors and nurses also fall into this category. Salary is earned by exchanging time for money, often referred to as active income. This category can also include freelancers. For many self-made millionaires, salary serves as the first step. It's where most people start and can be a solid foundation, especially if it supports them and their families. However, relying solely on this type of income is risky, as it means trading time for money, and time is limited, only 24 hours a day, like everyone else. There is an inherent limit to how much can be earned in this category. Moreover, salary is subject to high tax rates, sometimes reaching up to 40% of earnings, depending on income levels. While it's a worthy starting point, it's essential to explore other income opportunities available. Have you ever imagined discovering the secrets of the world's greatest minds effortlessly? It may sound incredible. The second source of income is profit income. This refers to income generated by selling products or services at a price higher than the production or acquisition cost. It's a shift from being employed to becoming an entrepreneur. In the past, starting a business required significant money for manufacturing or buying products. But now, with the internet, it has become much simpler to start without needing so much capital, whether selling physical or digital goods, as long as the selling price exceeds the cost of production or acquisition. Profit revenue from ISS service tax can be either active or passive, depending on the business model. Engaging in manual production and sales of products is typically considered active revenue, which can face scalability challenges. In contrast, outsourcing manufacturing or focusing on digital products opens up opportunities for passive revenue. Potential profit revenue can be classified into 2 categories: small-scale individual businesses and highly scalable companies. The former refers to personal creation or manual resale of products, such as on platforms like eBay or Facebook Marketplace, providing an accessible pathway for additional income. On the other hand, scalable profit revenue results from establishing a business and outsourcing production, freeing up time for strategic activities like sales and marketing. Taxation differs between these 2 types of profit revenue. Individuals involved in reselling or creating small-scale products generally face taxation similar to wage income. In contrast, forming a business entity can unlock numerous tax advantages, allowing for the use of corporate structures for tax optimization. The third category of revenue is interest income. Interest income is generated from receiving interest on loaned amounts, but it is generally not advisable to lend money to friends or acquaintances. Instead, interest income is typically obtained through safer investment options, such as investing funds in a bank certificate of deposit, CD, purchasing corporate bonds, or buying government securities. While these methods offer stability, they usually provide modest returns, ranging from 1% to 4% per year. On the other hand, there may be more innovative, albeit riskier, approaches to seeking higher returns. Interest income is considered passive, as it typically requires minimal active involvement from the investor. The fourth category is dividend income. Dividend income comes from investments in stocks that distribute a portion of their profits to shareholders. When you buy shares in a company, you become a shareholder. Generally, quarterly, the company distributes part of its profits to shareholders in the form of dividends. As a shareholder, you own a portion of the company and are entitled to a fraction of its profits. The tax rate on dividend income varies according to your classification. Qualified dividends may be subject to a lower tax rate, and individuals earning less than $600 may incur a 0% tax rate on their dividend income, with the rate rising to a maximum of 20% for those earning over $425,000. This rate is considerably lower than the income tax on salary, which can reach 40%. Rental income generally involves acquiring properties and renting them to tenants. However, this is not limited to residential properties. It can include commercial properties rented to businesses or industrial properties leased to manufacturers. Additionally, rental income is not restricted to real estate. There are alternative ways to generate rental income on a smaller scale. For example, individuals can rent out equipment for various industries, their vehicles, musical instruments, and so on. Essentially, rental income refers to any revenue generated by allowing another person to use property in exchange for payment. Residual income and royalties refer to being compensated even after completing the primary work. This can come from situations such as acting in a movie that people still watch, writing a book that continues to sell, or currently having a YouTube channel that keeps attracting viewers. Royalty income represents a form of residual income earned by allowing others to use your ideas or properties to generate profit, such as musical or literary works. For example, musicians allow streaming services and record labels to distribute and market their creations, receiving royalties every time their songs are played or sold. Similarly, authors receive royalties when publishers print and distribute their books, continuing to profit as sales persist. Moreover, multiple sources of royalties can emerge from a single creation. A notable example is author J.K. Rowling, who not only receives royalties from book sales, but also from adaptations of her work into films and merchandise featuring her characters. Even 2 decades after the release of the first Harry Potter book, Rowling continues to receive royalties whenever people buy merchandise, watch the movies, or purchase the books, as these products derive from her original creation. Capital gains income arises when an appreciated asset is sold. While real estate and stocks are the most common examples, numerous other assets can generate capital gains. For instance, if you bought a property for $20,000 and sold it for $50,000, you would have realized a capital gain. Similarly, acquiring 100 shares of a company for $20 each and selling them for $120 each would result in a capital gain of $10,000. It is crucial to distinguish capital gains income from profit income. The former does not involve the purchase or production of goods for resale at a profit. Instead, it involves assets whose market value has increased over time. While individuals have limited control over this value growth, capital gains enjoy favorable tax treatment. Favorable compared to most other types of income, capital gains tax rates range from 15% to 20%. With the possibility of being reduced to 0%. Especially in real estate transactions, in many cases, reinvesting profits from properties in the market can allow for tax-free growth, enabling individuals to increase their net worth without incurring taxes. Many people are driven by the desire to become wealthy. However, many still face challenges in achieving true success and wealth. Let's discuss practical methods and widely adopted behaviors by successful people to achieve wealth. If you're enjoying the content so far and are new here, consider subscribing for more amazing materials like this. Let's get started. An essential practice that distinguishes the rich from most is maintaining a comprehensive financial monitoring system. If I wanted to know how much you spent last month, could you provide me with all the details? Can you describe how you allocate your income, such as what percentage goes to bills, savings, leisure, and investments? It's complicated to improve your finances if you don't know where your money is going. Developing the skill to track every penny under your control not only facilitates efficient management of current finances, but also empowers you to make smarter decisions with larger amounts in the future. The first step in monitoring your money is to categorize all your expenses into 3 main groups. First, income. This includes the money you earn in a month from your job, side gigs, or any other source. Second, living expenses. This figure is extremely important, as it encompasses all monthly spending on essential items for your survival, such as rent or mortgage payments, electricity and water bills, and grocery shopping. While these costs generally remain nearly the same each month, many people do not realize how much they actually spend on these necessities. Finally, we have other expenses, which refer to leisure items you might choose to purchase, such as subscriptions, daily coffees, or any extras that are not necessary for survival. Grouping your expenses makes it easier to monitor your money. This way, you will see exactly how much you earn, what you need for bills and purchases, and what is left for leisure items. With this understanding, you can make more informed financial decisions. Saving money can be challenging, but there are some strategies that can simplify it. An effective approach is to automate your savings. Many financial institutions offer the option to schedule transfers from your main account, where your income is deposited, to your savings account immediately after receiving your paycheck. By doing this, a portion of your earnings is set aside before any expenses are deducted, requiring minimal effort on your part. This automated system helps prevent overspending, as the funds are directed to savings without conscious intervention. Another way to avoid spending your savings is to keep it in a separate bank account that does not have a debit card or connection to your checking account. This way, your savings won't be as tempting for everyday purchases. By keeping the money in a distinct account without a debit card, it becomes more complicated to access it. This can help you save more, as you won't be easily tempted to spend it. In fact, there are two main ways to save more money: reducing expenses to free up extra funds, or finding ways to increase your earnings. However, accumulating savings is just the first step in building wealth. Having a lot of money in the bank doesn't always indicate that you are wealthy. There is a difference between liquid cash and net worth. Suppose you have $1 million. Would you prefer to keep it all in cash or invest in assets like real estate or successful businesses? The wealthy usually opt for the second option. Cash retains its nominal value over time. Therefore, if you keep $1 million in cash, its value remains stable over the years, disregarding the impact of inflation, which gradually decreases the purchasing power of money. In contrast, investing $1 million in real estate or reputable businesses can generate exponential growth in value during the same period. Warren Buffett often says that the best way to use your money is to invest it in things that will grow over time. He believes in reinvesting resources in investments rather than just holding them in cash. That's why wealthy people often invest their savings in income-generating assets. This way, their money continues to grow over time. As we emphasized earlier, saving is just the initial phase in wealth accumulation. Wealthy people don't just save money to amass a significant amount. They use their savings to invest and increase their wealth over time. Once you establish a good savings habit, you can start thinking about how to invest that capital to make it grow even faster. Consider the dynamics of the Monopoly board game. Success is not based on accumulating capital, but on obtaining assets that provide continuous streams of income. It's not enough to just save money. The goal is to turn it into assets that create long-term wealth. Individuals who invest in items like real estate often accumulate more wealth. Imagine you have the choice between saving or acquiring something that offers a return. What would you decide? Wealthy people choose to invest their resources in elements that generate more wealth on their own, such as rental properties or dividend-paying stocks. This way, their money works for them, rather than them having to work for it. This reveals what is truly essential for them in building wealth, using capital to buy or create things that generate more wealth. Interestingly, many wealthy individuals do not spend all the money they receive. They live below their financial means. It may seem that rich people would spend all their capital, but many maintain modest spending habits, especially when starting to build their fortune. If you analyze those who have significantly enriched in the last decade, you will notice a pattern. They tend to live frugally, even when they have high incomes. Despite having 6 or even 7-figure earnings, they do not invest everything in luxury items, such as expensive cars or large mansions. Some people cannot resist overspending and end up in debt, but those who wish to accumulate considerable wealth do not focus solely on expenses. Their goal goes beyond accumulating a few million. They aspire to great fortunes. Consequently, many, even with satisfactory earnings, maintain modest spending habits similar to ordinary people. Now that we've discussed the importance of managing your resources, saving them, and using them to acquire wealth-generating assets, there is a crucial strategy that the wealthy use to preserve their fortune indefinitely. This method allows them to spend on expensive items without worrying about depleting their finances. The main difference lies in how they use money. Instead of consuming all their savings or initial capital, they invest only the additional money they receive, the residual income. Initially, most rely on active income resulting from their time and effort. However, by investing in income-generating assets, they begin to create passive income, which constitutes the cash flow from those assets. The key to becoming extremely wealthy is to spend only the passive income. Generated by your assets, you can protect your hard-earned capital. This is like cultivating a tree. Some people may simply consume the seeds immediately, but wealthy individuals plant the seeds first. Then, they enjoy only the fruits that the tree produces, not the seeds themselves. In this way, the tree continues to generate more fruit for them indefinitely. Although some wealthy people still manage businesses and make money that way, they use that capital to invest in more opportunities. They spend only the money that their investments generate for themselves, like on vacations or luxury goods. By following this strategy, they always have additional resources coming in, allowing them to acquire expensive items without worrying about running out of money in the long term. Now, what practical step can you take to start your journey toward wealth? As we mentioned earlier, to begin investing, you must first save. To save effectively, you'll need to either reduce your expenses or increase your income. After successfully cutting your expenses, the best initial step is to focus on boosting your monthly earnings. The higher your income, the more resources you'll have to sow the seeds of your financial growth. This concludes today's video. I hope it has been enlightening and helpful for you. If you found it valuable, please like the video. I look forward to your feedback, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Finally, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.